Hey there everyone, John Toma here, or Jack Toma, use either or. And I'm here with DeAndre Patrick, my good friend, and we are continuing our series that we started last year of talking about the upcoming comic book movies of the upcoming year. So it's a pretty promising year, DeAndre.
Yes, I would agree with that statement, yes.
Honestly, this year so far, it was very good.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen Aquaman yet, but as of now, the only movie that came out this year I didn't like was Venom, which I know a lot of people like that for some reason. I don't get why so many people like it.
That movie was laughably bad.
If you like it, fine, but I will never agree with you that movie is enjoyable. I enjoyed a couple scenes, that's about it.
I enjoyed laughing about how bad it was.
Yeah, it's better than Fan Four Stick.
Oh, everything is better than Fan Four Stick.
Yeah. So, hopefully, I'm hoping that this year will be just as good. The next upcoming year will be just as good as this year. So should we just start with the first one? This was a real pain to find all the dates for, because usually there's a site that shows all the dates, but everyone keeps moving the release dates around. We basically had to look up each one individually.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot, studios, making things real hard for me. So the first one coming out is Captain Marvel on March 8th. What do you think about Captain Marvel?
Of course, I'm excited for any Marvel movie. Unfortunately for Captain Marvel as a character, I'm actually more excited to see the Skrulls and young Nick Fury than I really am Captain Marvel.
Honestly, I was up for seeing a Captain Marvel movie, but the trailers just did nothing for me.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think that the trailers always are a good representation of the movie. Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't think really anything of like the Wonder Woman trailers. I thought those look all pretty generic, and then I really enjoyed that. So I don't think the trailers are always the best representation of the movie. Sometimes they can make a great movie look kind of iffy. Sometimes they make a crappy movie look great. But like Suicide Squad.
That is true.
That was a great trailer.
Yeah.
The marketing team deserves, they should have Oscars for making a crappy movie look great just by the trailers. But they have a good cast, and everything beforehand was looking good for a great Marvel movie. It was a prequel, get to see young versions of some of the characters. I love that we get to see Nick Fury again, because he has basically been absent since Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And then just the trailers just didn't do anything for me. They don't look anything special, anything that we haven't seen before, especially since Phase 3 has been very unique and separate. They've done a great job of not trying to break away from a formula and trying to make each movie special on its own. And this kind of just seems like an old Marvel movie with the same old formula, while at the same time looking kind of confusing. I'm only piecing it together as much as I could from the trailer because I know stuff from the comics. How confused were people when they saw Captain Marvel punch the old lady in the face? Which is why in the second trailer they probably revealed that the old lady was a Skrull.
Yeah, and speaking of the Skrulls, I think this would be a good opportunity for Marvel to really expand on their cosmic, universe as they've been doing since Guardians, basically. And just revealed it in the Avengers, the original one, but just to see more of, the alien population would be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, James Gunn was supposed to be, being the architect of the cosmic universe of Marvel before they fired him.
Yeah.
Which I'm still a little upset about that.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that.
But overall, I'm going to go into Captain Marvel with an open mind, but they really haven't done anything to make me that excited about her and her movie. I think they need to do a bit more than than her being the first female Marvel character to get her own movie. Because honestly, the marketing and what I've seen hasn't done anything to get me really excited. There's nothing that's made me think this movie's going to suck either, but honestly, I think having no opinion is worse than having a bad opinion.
Yeah.
So let's just move on. Hellboy is coming out April 12th. Now, do you know anything about Hellboy?
Nothing at all.
I know enough because I've seen the first Benicio del Toro, Guillermo del Toro. Benicio del Toro is the actor. Crap. Ron Perlman Hellboy movie that when it was on Netflix. And I think I saw an animated Hellboy movie. So I kind of know the basics of Hellboy. and I saw the trailer that just came out, and it looked cool enough. I was actually for sure going to check this out like when it was in January, because nothing comes out in January. So I say, oh, what the heck, I can go see this. But now they moved it to April, and April is a very busy month. I don't know if I'm going to take the time out to go see this now. I might see it just to say that I've seen most of the comic book movies that are coming out, but I don't know. If it gets great reviews, I'll for sure go and see it, but I'm not going to like ignore all the reviews and see it just because I'm excited for it. I have to actually like hear good word of mouth from this to make it worth going to see. I think Hellboy's a cool enough character, and I like the world. I like playing as him in Injustice 2, but I gotta hear some stuff first. And DeAndre, you have no opinion on this.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Even if this gets great reviews, are you gonna even go see it? Okay.
Probably not.
Okay.
I just don't care.
The next movie coming out April 5th.
Yep.
Is DC's Captain Marvel.
Shazam.
No, it is DC's Captain Marvel.
Shazam is coming out.
Freaking stole
April
the name.
5th.
DC's Captain Marvel.
Shazam is coming out.
Shazam is the thing he says to become Captain Marvel. It wouldn't make sense if he said his own name, because he could never say his name without
That's
turning
why the name
back
of the
and
movie
forth.
is Shazam! !
Also, Shazam is the name of the wizard, so wouldn't that be confusing if they had a conversation with each other?
I am extremely excited for Shazam! ! Because it looks unique, it looks fun for a DC film.
It looks incredibly cheesy, but in all the best ways.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Christopher Reeve Superman cheesy, where it's not
more self-aware though. I'd say
cheesy can easily be bad, but I don't think something that's cheesy necessarily always has to be bad. So I think although this looks very cheesy, I think that's even one of Captain Marvel's nicknames is the Big Cheese or something. The only problem I really have with this movie, from what I've seen for the trailers, it doesn't look like they put that much money into this. It looks kind of cheap. Like, the costume looks kind of cheap. The effects look kind of cheap. So I'm wondering how much money they actually put into this and how much faith they have in this movie. But so far, other than that, everything looks pretty good. I wonder if they're going to put out another trailer, because we haven't seen anything since Comic-Con. I kind of... Even though one thing I wish Black Adam was in this movie, because...
Save it for a sequel.
But no, they're not going to save him for a sequel. They're going to do the Black Adam movie with The Rock, which Black Adam is not a hero, no matter what The Rock says. He's barely an anti-hero.
Yeah.
So he doesn't deserve his own movie. And even they're doing the New 52 Shazam arc. And that's also called Shazam. I'm not admitting anything. And in that storyline, Black Adam was the main villain, not Dr. Sivana. Dr. Sivana was a minor villain, which makes a bit more sense, because Dr. Sivana is not very powerful as a villain, even though I think they upped him up in the movie, upped up his abilities, because you see him, catching one of Captain Marvel's punches, never calling him Shazam.
Shazam, yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely excited. Think it'll be something we haven't seen, just conceptually. I do think that this is a rare opportunity for DC to make something that's not so heavy, and makes you think that much, but just something that has a lot of heart.
Honestly, I think they stopped doing that after BVS.
Well,
Justice League, you can't say that was trying to make you think.
Well, no, but I mean, just anything that was...
honestly, since I've rewatched Justice League, I've had more fun with it, because I'm not putting as much expectations on it, but it's still just kind of like a basic comic book movie. And I'd say we still haven't seen Aquaman. Maybe they're going to try to make that a heavy movie too, but I agree with you there, that this seems just fun.
Right. Alright, so next we have Avengers Endgame.
Oh man, I can't wait for this.
Oh yeah.
This is my most anticipated movie of next year. This literally can't come fast enough. After how great Avengers Infinity War comes, we haven't made our ranking of the movies that came out this year, but I'm spoiler. Infinity War was my favorite, and the Russo brothers all three of their movies are my favorite MCU movies. So I cannot wait to see how they conclude their series of movies for Marvel, because all of them have been fantastic. I can't wait to see the direction they go with this.
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited. I would say that the biggest thing for me is going to be preparing myself emotionally for probably the death of one or more of the original
Well,
Avengers.
we know they're not all going to die. It's not going to be a scenario where, oh, they bring back all the people that Thanos killed, which I'm not giving you a spoiler alert because that movie was out 6 months ago. But I don't think they're going to have, oh, all the new characters are going to come back because all the old characters sacrificed themselves. I think maybe a couple of them. But we know Black Widow is not going to die because she has her movie coming up. Um, I'm pretty sure there's been talks of another Thor movie. So I think the only two major candidates that they're gonna might kill off are Captain America or Iron Man.
Or both.
True. I know, honestly, I was wondering why everyone was talking about one of them dying in Infinity War because, like, are we forgetting that this is only the first part? That we're getting another part? You know, they almost got us in Infinity War with Iron Man.
Oh, yeah. I seriously thought that was the end.
But I was honestly like, I don't think any of these main big players are gonna die. And for the most part, I was right. They mostly just killed off the Phase 2 and onward characters. But one thing I'm glad is the trailer gave basically nothing away.
Yeah.
Like, we pretty much already knew everything they showed us, but it was still so cool to see. It got me hyped without, like, ruining any moments from the movies that there's so many great moments in trailers that I love seeing, but then when I see them in theaters, like, oh, this would have been so cool if I hadn't known about this. Like a Spider-Man being in Civil War. Or Hulk being in Thor Ragnarok. Or Darth Vader being in Rogue One. Obviously, I know there's no way that they can avoid using those things to market the movie. They're just too rich for them to use, but I still think, oh, this would have been so cool if I just walked in and had no ideas, had my mind blown. So I'm hoping the marketing stays this way and we don't get any big moments spoiled. Honestly, they could probably just release this trailer and everyone would still go to see it. Yep. But that's not how marketing works. We're going to get more trailers.
They haven't even shown any action shots in the trailer, which
we didn't
is
even
incredible.
see really any of Thanos.
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, we didn't even see all the characters from the movie in the movie.
Which I am okay with because I don't want to be spoiled anything.
Like, Infinity War did also a good job marketing it, but it still showed a lot in the trailers.
Yeah.
So the next movie coming out is X-Men Dark Phoenix, which is coming out June 7th. Now this is probably going to be the last movie in the Fox X-Men series because I'm pretty positive that they're going to just reboot the X-Men for the MCU once the rights officially go back to Disney once they buy Fox.
Right. So
it's kind of a cathartic experience because I'm a bit sad that it's ending, but at the same time I'm kind of ready for it. Yeah. Because this series seems to be dragging a bit. Like, honestly, I was one of the people that actually enjoyed X-Men Apocalypse. I know you don't like it, but I know it's very flawed, but I still very much enjoyed it. At the same time, I don't know how much more they can continue this series on its own. I think a reboot isn't the worst option to go down, but I am glad that they're not ending it with Apocalypse, and we are getting like kind of an end movie.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, like a definitive end. One reason why I really like the Dark Knight trilogy is because the Dark Knight Rises was a definitive end of that trilogy, and hopefully it can be a similar thing here where this can be a definitive end for the Fox X-Men franchise.
And hopefully we'll finally get the Dark Phoenix saga done right.
Yeah.
Even though they are taking some elements from The Last Stand, like the whole Professor X messing with Jean's mind. Mm-hmm. To be fair, I don't think that's a bad plot point. Right. It was just very underexplored in X-Men. Like, him and Wolverine have one conversation about it, then he talks to Jean, and then he dies. That's it. So, seeing how I don't think Professor X is going to die in this, as far as I know, because from the shots, he's actually in like the funeral shots we saw, like the screenshots of. Someone's going to die. Do you have any idea who you think's gonna die?
Maybe Mystique.
Yeah, my money's on Mystique because Jennifer Lawrence doesn't like doing these movies, as she's shown in her effort she's put into them. Actually, she did good in the first two, but Apocalypse was very underwhelming in her performance. But Also, the fact that she's one of the few characters that's not at the end of Days of Future Past in that ending where everyone's alive.
Yeah.
Like, you can't kill off that many characters after you have that ending. The only characters that you don't see that are in the movie are Nightcrawler, Magneto, Mystique, and Quicksilver. Every other main character from this movie is in that ending, which I guess they can't even kill off Jean in this, which is like the big ending to that story. Even though, of course, she doesn't stay dead because comics, no one can stay dead because we need to sell action figures.
Mm-hmm.
But the trailer I thought looked pretty good. Honestly, it's kind of similar to. It's not as good as Avengers Endgame, but it has a similar thing that I liked about it. Is it gave away very little.
Right.
So I think the trailer was very good. It did its job without giving away everything. But they'll probably do that with later trailers.
Yeah.
They're not, even though I'm just glad studios are getting a bit smarter with how to market these movies. Except Sony, they still show everything in their movies.
Yep.
They did the same thing with Venom, what they did with Amazing Spider-Man 2. That Betty trailer, show the end scene in the trailer. Sony, you're breaking my heart. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this, and I'll probably see this for my birthday.
Oh yeah, it's around that time.
Yep.
All right, so next, Spider-Man: Far From Home. I'm definitely excited for it, as Spider-Man is my favorite comic book character.
Kind of a spoiler for the end of Endgame, though.
Yeah, and I've also heard that this movie is supposed to take place minutes after Infinity War.
Well, I think maybe it'll like the first scene.
Oh yeah, maybe,
there,
yeah,
but
maybe.
I'm pretty sure they'll probably jump forward.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll be Spider-Man at the end of Infinity War, and then 8 years later. 8 years.
They have to retcon that later.
You didn't tell me that was a problem. You said, "Oh, it's not a big thing," and then everyone else made a big thing about it.
Look,
so
yeah, but then they came out later and said, "Look, it was just wrong."
Yeah, because Sony needs to up their game with continuity.
But yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. I also think they're doing a job of keeping things under wraps. Yeah. I hope that their trailer, if they release a trailer, which I still think...
They're going to release a trailer at some point.
They can
it's
really...
Sony. It's Sony. You're giving them too much credit for them not to release a trailer at all.
If they do a trailer, I think they can really... If they have a good editing team, they can splice it together without showing Spider-Man and still, like...
Well, you mean not showing Peter Parker or not showing Spider-Man at all, like even in the suit?
Spider-Man at all.
You can't freaking market a freaking Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man.
Yeah, you can. You could show like the costume without anybody in it. You can cut it like.
Okay, no,
you can't. We'll talk about it later.
It's the main freaking character. You can't not have the main character in your marketing.
I mean, it'll be in the title.
Well, they should at least have him in a trailer after Endgame comes out.
Oh yeah,
but
after that.
I'm also kind of excited that Mysterio is a villain.
Oh yeah.
Preferably, I kind of wanted Kraven to be the villain because
that would have been cool.
I actually
a little dark of a character though.
I actually had an idea where they a loose, less dark adaptation of Kraven's Last Hunt, where it's not as dark and he doesn't kill himself at the end.
I think you could do a darker version. As
but I don't see Sony taking a risk like that.
But I think Marvel Studios would.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think this version of Spider-Man needs to mature a little more before we get to that.
Actually, the darkest movie we got was Infinity War. That's still pretty light with all the jokes they throw out.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't see them. I guess they could do something like that, but I don't see Sony letting them take a risk like that. Because pretty much everything Marvel suggests, Sony has to approve. So I'm not sure they could get something. But Mysterio is still a good villain. They got a great actor, Jake Gyllenhaal, to play him. Which for some reason they took forever to announce. Like I heard rumors that he was playing him like a while, like into when they were actually filming, and then only a month ago I hear it's confirmed. It's like, wouldn't you need this guy in advance? I don't know, but what do you think about the movie taking place around Europe and not?
I think
New
it's
York?
Cool because we've had so many Spider-Man movies. Yeah. It's cool to have a different location, and Spider-Man is just a global icon. So I don't see a problem with it.
True. What are you kidding? If they want a movie in London, they do a Union Jack or Captain Britain.
That would be something. But Marvel could do it if they could make a movie about a talking raccoon in a tree.
Marvel can make any movie they want and make it good.
Squirrel Girl 2022. All right, next we got the New Mutants. Comes out August 2nd. What are your thoughts?
Meh. We talked about this last year because it was supposed to come out this April, and then I guess Fox wasn't happy with it, so they had it moved this year. The same thing with Dark Phoenix. So we look like fools now. We said New Mutants and X-Men Dark Phoenix was coming out last year, and Fox made us look like a bunch of fools, just like Warner Brothers almost did, because I thought Wonder Woman 2 was coming out this June, because I thought they moved it up, but it turns they moved it back 6 months. So I almost talked about Wonder Woman 2 like it's coming out this year. Now I look like a sap. Well, I guess you wouldn't know that, but too late. Already said it. But I couldn't care less about this. The trailer didn't do anything for me. It looks like the most generic freaking horror movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I just don't care. And the thing is, like, especially since Fox X-Men is going to be, like, dead. I mean, not, like, physically dead, but, you know, the franchise is, like, gone. We're going to...
Say, if this is super popular, they can always retcon this into the MCU. I don't think this has a ton of big connections to the other X-Men movies.
That's true, but I don't think people are really going to be excited for this. Honestly, I forgot about this movie until you said we should make a video.
Same thing with Deadpool. They could always retcon him into the MCU.
Yeah.
There are, even though I think there are some substantial connections, such we actually saw all the X-Men from Dark Phoenix in Deadpool 2. So it's not really as straightforward.
Yeah, but I think since
the whole climax of Deadpool took place on a crashed helicarrier.
Yeah, and I think just the nature of Deadpool's character and the way that he operates in his universe, they could easily figure out a way for him to just
I'm kind of disappointed because there were some of the announcements of movies they were planning to make that I did want to see, like a X-23 spinoff.
Oh, yeah, that would have been cool.
Because I wanted to see what happened to Laura after Logan, but that can't happen because obviously that Logan is way too connected to the main X-Men because Wolverine's always the focus,
right?
Which is the main thing I'm hoping they focus on in the new. I hope Wolverine's not in like the first new X-Men movie in the MCU. I like Wolverine, but you have to admit, they used him way too much.
Yeah.
Cyclops and a lot of the other X-Men, I feel like, are just background characters. Like, literally, all Cyclops does in X2 is get captured. And all he does in X-Men 3 is die. So I'm hoping... we actually talked very little about New Mutants because no one freaking cares.
Oh, yeah.
I hope... I don't care about this movie. I have no plans to go see it. Even if it gets good reviews, unlike Hellboy, I have no plans on seeing this movie. It has actually helped me out because then that means one less movie we have to skip over in our rankings.
Yep.
So when we do rank the movies, we only have to skip over Teen Titans Go.
Which I heard was actually pretty good.
The main reason, I don't want to get on a tangent here, but the main reason is it seems to actually put like action and character development, which is something I've never seen in any parts of the show I saw. Because that show looks pretty, it's just them hanging out and goofing off, and that's it.
Well, to conclude this video,
we still have another movie, you fool.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay, I thought you were ending the video.
No, I was going to... See, if you just let me finish,
I
would have said...
having a script makes a problem.
If you would let me finish.
Never!
I was going to say, to conclude this video, okay, we'll talk about the last movie of 2019, Joker.
This, I was not excited for in the slightest. I thought this looked kind of dumb that they were giving the Joker his own solo movie, and it wasn't even in the DCEU. But honestly, what we've seen from this movie, I'm very interested in what they're going to do with it.
I, too, am very intrigued. I think this can be probably one of the most unique DC movies. Definitely, or possibly one of the most unique comic book movies if, they do it right. And I think, especially relying on the performance of our main actor here, I really think that this could be something special. I
haven't actually seen Joaquin Phoenix in a bunch of stuff, but I know he is, just from word of mouth, that he is a very good actor. The more I look at the design, the more I like it, actually. I was a bit iffy on it, but because it was mostly because when we just got the close-up of his face, I don't think that was the best way to do it, but once we got like the more full body shots from on-set photos, I think he looks great.
Yeah, I like it. I think this can be one of those disturbing films that leaves you kind of on edge after you watch it, but you're like, man, I have to see that again.
And I don't think this is going to be like a franchise or anything.
No.
Because I'm pretty sure the actor doesn't, Joaquin Phoenix doesn't like doing franchises. That's one of the reasons he turned down playing Doctor Strange. Because he didn't want to be stuck in a franchise. Like, oh, I'm going to have to play this role for like the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure this is just going to be like a one-off movie, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that there are at least a couple movies from DC we actually know are coming out. It's unlike the 50 movies that they say, oh, we're going to make this. We don't have a director. We don't have a cast. We don't have a release date, but we're making it.
Yeah.
But I'm actually pretty excited for the lineup that we have this year. We got, besides New Mutants, which nobody cares about, I'm very excited for pretty much all these movies, and I can't wait to go see them. I do wish they were more spread out, which I think is the problem with them moving the release dates all around. Before, it was like I was getting one movie like a month, and now it's like I'm getting, they're all mashed together. Like, there's 3 coming out in April. Like, so that's going to be a pretty busy month. But
I would agree.
I guess we just got to wait and see next year when we rank these movies to see how they turned out, and if they... And DeAndre ruins another video with his phone. Thank you, Mr. Patrick.
And with that, we'll have to end.
Thanks for ruining my video.
You're welcome.
If I had a mic, I'd do this myself, and if I wasn't so awkward.
Well, thank you for your time, of course.
Bye.